Good morning, or I think it's afternoon actually, and welcome to day 15 of Sampey Builds a Micro House. This will be my actual last vlog for the year because I'm going to another city for a holiday for 3 or 4 days, do New Year's and stuff, and then get back here to work. Stage 1 of the build is basically complete. There's some minor things left to do. We got a internal door lock in today, and that's perfectly adequate to shut the door. So I bought 4 locks and I only need one of them, but I think I'll use the others at least in part on the unit for the solar panel array. So I was talking about this in day 13 and then ran out of time. So basically what I'm going to do is mount the solar panel, 2 solar panels I've got for now on a rack, which will then be hinged to the side of the house at the top, and then that will have a little sort of hinged stick thing sticking off the bottom of it, that will allow me to move the vertical angle of the array in summer and winter. In summer you want sort of around 22 degrees to horizontal. In winter you go down to more like 55 degrees to horizontal, because of the lower angle of the sun. I don't have a tracking system or anything like that. We're just doing manual change out twice a year, or once a year really. Cool, so we got a door lock in. We ran out of our paint when we were doing internal painting, so the door is yet to be completed. So is the under area of the bookcase and whatnot, but we got our first coat on the bookcases here. Rear walls, back wall, yada yada yada. It's very messy, just a quick first coat, and I was running low on paint, so I just sort of thinned it a lot and stuff. I was using an undercoatless paint that you can just whack on, and you do a few coats of it, but I ran out. Unfortunately though, my bro's girlfriend here has donated me a tin of this paint that she got from somewhere for some sort of project. It's an off-white, so it's less bright than the stuff I have been using, but there's heaps of it there, so I'll be able to do multiple coats. So at some point, when we get back, we'll go through the process of painting. So basically to do that, first of all we pull out a new carpet. Oh, hey, check that out. Which is just laid in squares that sort of little jig together like a little crazy jigsaw puzzle. They're just sitting on the floor, so I can pull them out for cleaning, and I can pull them out so that I can paint without worrying about getting paint on them. Basically what we do is we clear the top deck area here and put everything on the floor, and we paint the ceilings and the upper walls and the rear wall and over there and up here and do all of that kind of stuff. Then we move everything up onto the deck once that's dry, get all the stuff out of here up onto the deck as well, and we do the rear section, and then of course we move everything around again and do the front section. So it's quite an involved process, quite labour intensive too. I found I was pretty knackered after the first few hours of working on it. But yeah, we'll get around to doing that. So that remains to be done. Solar panel installation remains to be done. So what I'm going to do is make a little framework to hold my 2 panels together, and then use one of my spare hinges because I didn't do 2 doors, I just did one, and attach that hinge, that panel system to the side of the house. Then we'll drop a wee stick thing off that on another hinge, with one of my spare door locks, because I only need one of those. I've got one in there. There's a bit of bog around it and stuff because we had to bog some stuff in there, but it locks up. Got the door shut at the moment, and I'm running my new fan, one of my new fans which were installed today as well. There's the kitchen one down there. Just running off a little USB cell phone recharge, universal battery type thing you get for phones at the moment. Everything I run apart from my tattoo machines runs off 5-volt USB, so I can use little batteries like that for everything. This will however be wired into the proper solar array system at some point, but for now it's just, if that runs out I'll just charge it up over here and I've got another one. So what I'm trying at the moment with the door shut, it is quite warm in here, and we're running that fan to see how long it takes to cool down, just using my internal venting system as opposed to having the door open. Which is cool. It's a bit close, it feels a bit hot and stuff, but I did just shut and seal the door, so we'll run that for a bit and see how well it works. Just reach down here. Yeah, I can feel a breeze sucking in through the intake, so that's going pretty good. And we can always get another battery and turn the kitchen area one on as well, if I want more ventilation going on. So things remaining to complete stage 1 are finish the painting. This is good enough for now, I don't really care. It'll do. I'll get around to finishing that as time goes on. and I need to create my solar panel array, get those wired in and ready to go. What I realised today was I put a hole above the fan to run the cables through, and the little outlet that, you know, where the fan vents through on the outer wall there is pretty skinny, so it's going to be interesting getting my cables through that hole without interfering with the fan blades. But we'll figure it out, and if necessary we'll drill a hole underneath the fan and then do it that way. But yeah, eventually everything will be wired up through the ceiling, running along there, as will the lights, just running in through the bottom of the bunk there and all zip tied in place and made to look neat. So yeah, we've got to install the solar gear, and we've got to finish internal painting, but otherwise we're done. Got a carpet in, got a wee mat here on the floor from an offcut, and then I'm just going to pop this open again actually. And yeah, obviously need to do a little more sanding on that door, it keeps jamming on me. I actually made a doormat. Just move some stuff here. Hang on. Move. It's a brush off anyway. By taking some of the foam and some of the carpet and offcut and a piece of ply and just nailing them all together. So I've got this little front door wipey feety mat thing going on, which works pretty well, and it stops us tracking mud and bollocks into the house. So we've got sort of two mats running there instead of, some people, Americans call it a mud room, and they have this place where they drop all their jackets and muddy boots and stuff like that. Well, I don't really have space for that, so my mud room is the front door area. So I'll just shut this again because I am trying to test the aircon, so to speak. Lock that up, there we go. And yeah, so pretty much we can call stage one done. You know, painting's, you know, I'll do it in between doing art projects and various other things. I'm back to work now, and I'm running severely low on money. I'm about to spend the last of it buying some food to ensure that I can at least still eat for a while. But yeah, if anyone's in the commissioning of art or buying of artwork mood, let me know, because yeah, could use some funds. But I'm sure that'll work out. I've got a prepaid commission I'm going to complete today, and then we're going to go on holiday while I wait for more stuff. But I can certainly take orders. The sooner you get in, the sooner you get your work. I basically prioritize my work based on who paid first, or who ordered first. So yeah, and then I just make a list and work my way through it. So ordering while I am on holiday over the next few days and stuff would be a very, very good idea, because I imagine once my year properly starts up again, when I get back, I'll have not a lot of time. I've got quite a few upcoming projects this year by the sounds of it. Hopefully nothing that's paid for yet, so we can't count our chickens. But yeah, did I mention I have a carpet? I'm really stoked about that. This is just totally cool. It's like cushy on my fence. And I did a good job on buying it too, actually. It just happened to be some random hardware store stuff. You can buy little metre squares there that I pointed out the other day, but it is a really fine, short hair on the carpet with a rubber backing and stuff. So cutting it up and chopping it into a little, you know, Tetris project to get it all fitted into the floor there was quite easy to do with a craft knife. But because it's short hair, you can just brush it clean using just a brush. You can just sweep it like a normal floor. So I won't need a vacuum cleaner. Speaking of stage one being complete, we have pretty much started stage two already, because we've got a vent in for our kitchen and we've got a gas cooker and we've got some gas for it and stuff. I have no utensils yet, so if anyone in New Zealand, especially living in Christchurch, has got a spare small pot or small pan and or fish slice and or spoon, you know, basic stuff like that I can stack up here beside my gas cooker, by all means donate. Otherwise, at some point when I've got some cash, I'll buy some basics there. But this is basically just to allow me to boil soup, boil pasta snacks, and fry steak or fish in small amounts there. So I need very, very few items to do that, and just, you know, cook other things like that. I don't only eat fish and pasta snacks and soup. I also eat muesli bars and chocolate and canned tuna, as you can see. I'm sure I'm supposed to eat vegetables at some point or another. There's some in the soup. So yeah, we've started that. I am increasingly leaning towards the idea of not having an internal toilet, but it is still a possibility. I am pretty much definite now that we won't have an internal shower. I could totally fit it, but I just don't really see the point. What I could do would be put in an external shower on the back of that wall outside, and just run a solar shower without any plumbing or pump type stuff, and then just drain it to ground. as you would do normally when you're camping. I don't really see a problem with that. Obviously, with regular usage, I probably want to make a wee tray for it to drop into so I can filter the grey water coming back out, but yeah, really not a big deal. And then toilet-wise, here I have a shower and a toilet available at the other end of the section where the main house is. But when I move to other areas, I'll look into those kinds of things, and I realise that just having a little bit more airspace and volume in here is just not a bad thing. You know, if I want to stick up an easel or a larger scale painting to work on, I can just whack it on that wall or that wall and work away with a drop sheet on the floor so we don't mess up my awesome carpet. Because it's awesome, I love this carpet. So yeah, but it's still a possibility. I'm going to live in here for a while, and we'll just see how we feel really as we go through. I've also got to wire up the light above the kitchen, which will also be wired into that USB fan, so when you turn on the kitchen light, the fan goes on, and that way it's all nice and ventilated and whatnot if I do any cooking in here. As I said the other day though, when using that, I probably will open the door. Now, I've been talking for a little bit, so I'm going to stick my heat back up in here. Oh well. I mean, I shouldn't act surprised. I don't suck. That's working. It's noticeably lowered the temperature in here. In the upper section and whatnot, and despite the fact that there's paint and bog still going off in here, I can't really smell it, and I'm not getting a headache or anything, so I think our ventilation is working quite well. I'd say on a really hot day I'd run both fans at the same time to really get some airflow going through here, and obviously open the freaking door. So stage 2, complete the kitchen. Look at the ceiling. Yes, look at it. See, look, it's a ceiling. For stage 2, I'm going to complete the internal painting and start looking at putting some sort of hatch into the upper section of that ceiling, possibly with a skylight or something like that. So I've got a second exit. I can jump out onto the roof because that'd just be cool. Every kid wants a cool little sky hatch thing to go through. And it'd be nice to, you know, crash out at night and be able to look up at the stars through the dome, or just open the hatch and do that in summer. And again, it will help with ventilation. So yeah. I'll do that for stage 2, and there's a few other things I might play around with, like outside we've just got dirt everywhere, and it does look like I'm going to be here for sort of a few months at least, if not a year, assuming these guys re-sign their next lease. So I don't know, I might put some gravel down and do a bit of landscaping or whatever, but yeah, I'll do a few designs and play around with some ideas, and then we'll talk to the patron, see what they feel like paying for or not paying for. I guess this kind of stuff is still pretty much well out of my budget, although now I've got the basic structure. If work starts coming through and getting reasonably regular and shit, I might well actually be able to afford to just do some of this stuff for myself, you know, just one-off little $100 project there, $50 project there, sort of, you know, that kind of thing, but which should be nice. But it's nice to just go, I want to do this, 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 and this, get a flat budget for the whole lot, and then just go do it, like I've done with the house so far. That's been really, really awesome. So again, much gratitude to my patron for paying for the bulk of all of this, and also much gratitude to people who donated things like paint and my little inverter unit, and who gave me, one of my cousins gave me a hardware store Prezi card for Christmas, so I was able to buy the camping gas cooker thing and the caulking stuff that I suddenly needed when I realised I had leaks, and so on. Things are drying away nicely there. We're going to pull the carpet up again soon. I'll just sort of put it down to sort of get it all fitted in and demo sort of thing, but I do want that floor to dry out more effectively, especially while I'm away, so I'll just stack the carpet in the corner somewhere and just let everything air out a bit more. Now, external locks. I got all those extra locks to use. My dad pointed out that having external locks of this type with a bolt system like that isn't wise, because, you know, people can come up and lock in your house, which really, really suck. And then they might accidentally action somehow as well with the door shut. And then, you know, at least at this point, I've got no other way to get out. So I've got some spare locks and whatnot. I'm finding, because the door does pretty much just jam in place, like not hard jam, but it's a bit of a shove to get it back open again, or a bit of a yank from the outside to get it back open again. So for now, that's fine. You know, I don't have any security issues here. I'm on the back of a mate's property and stuff. No one knows where I am really or anything like that. So I trust these guys. I don't think it's going to nick my measly possessions. So yeah, I don't really have any concerns. But long term, we'll think about some sort of latch sort of system for the external door that I can lock things up. But I mean, again, what's the point really? Look at the size of these windows. If somebody really wanted to get in here, mess with my shit, vandalise my unit, or get in and steal my stuff, you're just going to go through that freaking window. So locking it really is the point, but latching it so that, you know, it stays shut even when it's really, really windy might not be a bad idea. So we'll look into that. What else? Yeah, and we need to put some foam in. There you go. You can just see there's a gap at the back of the door where the hinges are. I need to put some foam in there. I need to put some foam in the lapping on the other side of the door just so this actually seals up fully properly. But again, it's the middle of summer, not the middle of winter, so we're not too worried about drafts and stuff like that. It's all G. So yeah, this will be my last video for a while. I'll probably shoot another one at some point when I've completed my internal painting and maybe done some more of the other tasks that are remaining, like installing the solar system and whatnot. But otherwise, next videos will be coming through and we're looking at stage 2 really, and starting to add things onto the structure. Like I say, the roof hatch is almost a definite now, and we may put an external shower in, or, you know, whatever. I want to have a bit more of a think and live in here for a bit and see how we go, because like I said, I think there's probably better uses for that wee alcove space there than whacking in at least at this point, totally unnecessary shower and toilet unit that I can't plumb into anything because I can't do digging on this site. So, we'll see how we go. Anyway, you guys will have a good one. Have a good New Year's, and we'll be back with you in a few days to a week, I suppose. Bye.